For multiplayer games is so low right now that people are playing Valorant. Overwatch 2 will undoubtedly become the big game when it launches, but are we going to be playing this game for a couple weeks or a couple years? Overwatch was a great game. Great game. I put over 1,000 hours into Overwatch, okay? That being said, if Overwatch 2 is a couple new maps and some heroes, I will be very disappointed. First, let's talk about the new co-op. From what I can tell, co-op is the primary focus of Overwatch 2. Like I said before, the most interesting part of this game to me is the roster. You have all of these different characters with different play styles, and I think by focusing the E, you can really get more creative with character abilities and making every hero feel broken in their own way. Remember when Overwatch first came out and Roadhog could hook players that were playing on different maps than him? He could throw that dumbass hook around corners, and then once he pulled you in, he could just one-shot you. It was hilarious, it was awesome, and it was insanely broken. What's nice about PvE is that you can allow characters to be broken and really focus on empowering the player. During BlizzCon, they showed off this new skill tree feature. It seems like the overarching goal of the co-op mode is to level up each individual character, and as you level up, you'll get to select talents on the skill tree like my favorite games, Warcraft and League of Legends. If the talents on the skill tree are some bullshit like do 10% more headshot damage or move slightly faster, I don't think that is going to motivate anyone to level up. But if it's goofy shit, like this boulder move that Mei has, that is awesome. That makes me want to get Mei to the max level now. The talent they showed for Reinhardt though seemed a lot more subtle. It makes it so his shield heals him when it has over 50% health, which it doesn't sound super exciting, but it does incentivize you to use the shield, and I think this is one of the areas where Blizzard really needs to step it up is practicality. Overwatch 2 needs to be developed around how players actually play Overwatch instead of developing the game around how you're supposed to play. People will naturally gravitate towards the fun part of any game, which is why even in Diamond they still refuse to push the fucking payload. Why won't anyone push the payload? Because it's boring. Why do people on defense always overextend and get caught way out? Because they want to get kills, which is fun to do. The solution isn't to embrace players' selfish instincts, but instead to trick them into playing like a team with selfish rewards.
What's pivotal?
About the only info Blizzard has given us on the new PvP is that tanks are going to be more like DPS, healers are going to be tankier, and DPS are going to be faster. These changes sound like a direct response to roll queue. Hypothetically, let's say it's 7 p.m. If you want to play a match of Overwatch in roll queue as
I didn't know Overwatch was dead game. I thought it was still popping off.
DPS character, you can get into a match at about 10 p.m. the next day. If you have the fast pass.
This is the problem with WoW. It's the same thing with WoW, man.
The fast pass, that's the prize you get for playing tank or healer.
This is why we don't want these roles, dude.
Because nobody wants to play those roles. Why not? Because all of the fun characters are DPS, which is also more than half the roster. Fast pass is a practical solution to excessive roll queue times, which was in turn a solution to...
Can you not be Hanzo, dude?
Hanzo, will you please swap?
Yeah, I don't know if we need a Hanzo.
Could we not have a Widow?
Can you not play Bastion so you can kill
Dude, this is every time we played Overwatch. It's so true.
It take people a long time to suck all the fun out of Overwatch. It went from being the game with all these unique characters to the game where if you don't pick the one right character, you get yelled at by some weirdo.
Dude, this is exactly... I feel like metagaming ruined all the game, chat. This is exactly WoW too. Like, if you don't play the right class, you can't play the freaking game. Like, if you don't play a warrior or like a red paladin or mage or rogue or warlock in retail, like, you don't get invited to 3v3 or 2v2, right? Like, you gotta play the right class. It sucks. Back then, when I played with my brothers and like BC or Wrath, we literally played any comp. We didn't know what the best comp was, and we just had fun and still got 2k or 2200, right? But now that everyone knows the meta, people only want to play with the OP stuff. It's so boring, dude. I hate that. Same thing with Overwatch. When it first came out, literally everyone played what they want to play. But now that there's like this meta, everyone's like, play this or you're not invited, or play this, you're gonna get yelled at. It sucks, dude.
Make no mistake, there are good characters and characters that are virtually useless, but once people started caring about which characters were good, you saw Overwatch start to collapse. Tracer, she can dash around, her pistols make this cool sound effect, and she can rewind time. She is one of the most fun, exciting characters in the game. In 6,000 matches of playing Overwatch, I have seen 5 people do good on Tracer. Overwatch 2 is not going to magically balance every character in this game. That's never going to happen. But Blizzard, seriously? Is this the best you can do? Widowmaker is one of the worst characters in the game. No, don't even try to argue. Everybody knows Widowmaker sucks. So here you have this horrible, terrible, unplayable, garbage character called Widowmaker. What does Blizzard do? They give her the worst ultimate in the game. They give the worst character in the game the worst ultimate in the game. Then you have Junkrat, one of the best characters in the game. Here is his ultimate. Unbalanced characters are just the tip of the iceberg, though. What about steamrolls? Multiplayer games are at their best when both teams have a decent chance of winning. How often do you boot up Overwatch, come out of a match and say, damn, that was a good match? Steamrolls suck ass. They are not fun, and they are very frequent. It isn't fun to obliterate a helpless team, and it's especially not fun to get completely dominated by a much better team. I think roll queue was Blizzard's attempt to make matches more of a tug-of-war, but it's really disheartening to sit through that extended queue time.
This is why when people were like, for World of Warcraft 3v3, people should be able to pick what they want to do and then solo queue. This is why I said no to that. We don't want this problem. Like, solo queue and WoW should be just use solo queue into anything. People wanted to like solo queue into this certain comp only, like check mark certain roles and then get into it. It doesn't work like that.
Just to play a 40-second Steam
Exactly,
match
yep.
anyway. Nearly every Overwatch match
Steve
is
knows what I'm
decided by
talking about.
positioning and timing. Can your team sync up good enough to push? Can you get your flankers and your front line moving?
That's why I don't. Yeah, exactly, dude. All that one of people play, dude. Like, I don't like the meta. That's why if you have solo queue, it breaks the meta. We get to just queue anything we want. You get into the game, 2 DPS, 1 healer. Just random comp. It's fun, dude. You just make it work. Better players will climb for sure. And not the better players will stay down.
in at the same time. If not, you lose. Overwatch 2 needs to give individuals or smaller groups something to accomplish. Maybe set up some side objectives like Heroes of the Storm. This way you can alternate between objectives and force teams to move around and adapt instead of just tunneling through one choke point the entire match. I think you could sidestep a lot of the issues that Overwatch has with the co-op experience. However, people don't seem very excited for co-op. When you say co-op shooter nowadays, people think Destiny, Division, Anthem, Fallout 76. It doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. But what if I said Overwatch meets Left 4 Dead? See, now you're like, okay, Dunk, go on. The co-op
I would
in the
actually wanna
original
play that.
Overwatch was a gimmick. It was something you played once, you went, oh, that was kind of neat, and then you never touched it again. The intensity of the PvP
that's how I felt
wasn't
too.
there. The AI
I
robot
literally played the one AI and I never played it again. It's like play one time for story and that's it.
felt like they were just spawning in to die. They would just walk to their spot and stand there while you destroyed wave after wave of them. You look at something like Doom, the enemies are so engaging because they're all bouncing around the map in their own way. If you get too close, they'll whack you. If you run away, they'll chase you. Overwatch, the enemies are like Big Yoshi. They're just sitting there. In the new Overwatch 2 video,
That's literally PvE, man, and people like this. This is all PvE too, man. This is why I don't like PvE, man.
Big Yoshi. They're just sitting there. In the new Overwatch 2 video, Jeff Watch said, and I quote, "Yeah, we know the AI sucks ass, but maybe it won't suck ass later." They're showing all of these different types of
This
enemies,
looks cool,
like the
though.
fly guy and the bomb doggy and the smoker. There's a little clip of Lucio blasting robots into the side of a wall. They showed this badass technology where you could shoot robots into each other. You can shoot the legs off of a robot. They're saying there's going to be 100 different co-op missions. There's a lot to get excited about, and it's getting easier now to imagine the incredible game Overwatch 2 could be. But what it could be, or what it would be, Jeff Watch, make your move. Bye-bye.
Okay, dude, remember that May part he showed about the talents and stuff? I want this is the same thing with WoW. I want them to give like cool abilities. Where was that part where he showed? Like, I don't like it when they just give you a talent in a talent row, like your wings do more damage. You do more damage in stealth. Like, I don't like those talents.
Off this new skill tree feature.
I like it when it's like
Individual
a new ability or it
And as
enhances.
you level up, you'll get to select talents on the
it
skill
this
tree, like
part?
my favorite games, Warcraft and League of Legends. If the talents on the skill tree are some bullshit, like do 10% more headshot damage or move slightly faster, I don't think
I don't like these, man. These, it's so easy to like implement, and For them, they're not being creative. They just give you like 10% more damage, 20% more. I hate talents like that. It's so boring.
That is going to motivate anyone to level up. But if it's goofy shit, like this boulder move that May has,
Exactly, dude. If it was like a ability like that, I would have fun with that, dude. Any cheers in the chat?
that is awesome. That
I want them to do that in WoW, man. Like, give us fun talents. Like, our PvP talents, they should be all something fun. But it's like, do more wing damage. Do more damage when you throw judgment. It's like, dude, these are the most boring talents. And I had to play this because it's the only good one we get, man. So lame. Soloque comes out like Rogue fits the X comp. The thing is, Blizzard saying that Soloque won't work because of the comp issue is BS, dude. It's literally BS. Because right now, if I queue on my main and I face like a mage lock composition, that's a straight up counter for me, right? WoW already has counters. In Overwatch, if you get countered, you could pick a different character, right? Or in League of Legends, when you do rank, you can see what the enemies are picking and you can counter pick and try to fight against that, right? In World of Warcraft, when you queue 3v3, you literally queue into a random match where you could be countered straight up, right? And it makes no sense when people say, what if I get a bad combo if I queue 3v3 solo queue? That already happens, man. I don't know what you guys are on about. And people that are better at playing the game, for example, like Stoops do carries, Peekaboo does carries, I do carries. We play with any class and we can still get them to like 2k plus, right? If you're a good player and you do solo queue, you know how the game works and you know how to CC, you can push up high, man. Solo queue could work. Solo queue works, man. People just want to queue up and play. But Blizzard will not give that to us. The game right now is where you just log in, spin around Ouroboros, go into LFG, try to get into a team, play like maybe 1 or 2 game max, and then you go to bed. It sucks, man. Sucks so hard. I know a lot of the people want solo queue, but there are some people that are against solo queue. And those people are like tournament players. When you ask them, they're like, no, we don't want solo queue. Why? Because they're tournament players. They don't know the problem. They don't know what it feels like not to have partners. They're tournament players, chat. All they do is queue with their team and practice, right? So they have queue all the time. The normal people, we don't have that. It's literally like Joker. Do you know what it feels like, Murray? They don't know what it feels like, man. They don't know what it feels like, dude. So of course they're gonna be against it because they want to queue OP stuff and just practice their tournaments.